first off, in training, you should be tapping very early because you're not getting paid to fight in the gym. You're getting paid to fight on stage. So be a professional in the gym, tap early, tap fast. That way you'll last a lot longer. In competition, things are a little different. We also have to specify what is the situation. Okay, if you're in the first round of ADCC, your first match, you get caught, I would always expect my students to tap. Because if you get your leg broken or your arm broken in the first round, you still got 3 more matches before you get to the final.
There is a escape clause there, is if you're a guy from Ireland and you're fighting the number 1 seed.
There's always an escape clause, yeah.
Like, let it snap.
Yeah, let it go. But
your students, yes.
Yeah, I would expect them to tap. I also think that if you're in a stranglehold, it doesn't make a lot of sense in not tapping because you're going to pass out. It's like you said in chess, it's kind of impolite to make the guy take it through to its conclusion. So I don't see any heroism in just letting yourself pass out. Now, things change when you get into a final. If you're in a final and you're ahead on points and you're willing to, most people at that point are going to be willing to let something break in order to win a gold medal. At that point, I leave it up to the student. It's a deeply personal decision. I would never say to a student, I expect you to let your body break in order to win a gold medal. I think my students are more than mature enough to make up their own minds. I would be angry if they let their bodies break in a meaningless fashion in some random tournament or in a first round match where there's no way you could have go on to the second, third, and fourth matches with a broken limb. But in a final, in a gold medal match in ADCC, I would leave the decision to them, a spontaneous decision in the moment. I would be confident that I had prepared them to do their very best to defend themselves. But what ultimately they do is their decision. And winning ADCC is, for a grappler at least, life-changing. You're a world champion forever. And no one can ever take that moment away from you. So I would understand if they took a decision to take damage. Hopefully it will never come to that because I do a good job of preparing people to get out of situations, as you saw with Gary Tonon, who was in a dreadful situation and got out within 5 seconds.
I saw, man.
Gary's been in arm locks that looked like even I was in the corner going like, oh my God, what is happening here? And still got out. So it comes down to training preparation. But if they did make that decision, I would understand, provided it was a situation that would make their lives better. And they made a calculation. It's not an emotional thing. Now, sometimes you get emotional. You fight a guy you just don't like and you just don't want to tap to him. Then things get a little more interesting. Then again, it's a personal decision. If you hate someone so much that you literally can't even conceive of yourself submitting to them, probably best you don't get into matches with them in the first place. But if it should happen, again, it comes down to the student. I teach technique, not morals. So I let people make their own decisions on that. My thing is, look, don't get injured, because if you're injured, you can't train. You can't train, you can't get better. So stay away from injury as much as you can. You have to see training for what it is. Training is about skill development, not about winning or losing. You've got to understand that you don't need to win every battle. You only need to win the battles that count. And the battles that count are in the World Championship finals, okay? That's the one that counts. Think about that win, okay? That's the one you're going to be remembered for. You're not going to be remembered for the battle you lost on Tuesday afternoon at 3 p.m. in some nameless gym with some guy that no one cares about. No one's going to remember that. You're going to be remembered for your peak performances, not your everyday performances. Focus your everyday performances on skill development so that your peak performances you can focus on winning.
You know, this is not a therapy session, but if I could just speak.
Every session is a therapy session.
There is still an ape thing in there.
Of course. You think I don't feel it? You think everyone in the room doesn't feel it?
Because, for example, you haven't never seen me roll. When there's people, I've seen the look in people's eyes when they see me train, and I could see maybe it's me projecting, but they think, I thought you were supposed to be good. I thought you're supposed to be a black belt. Like that look, they're like studying.
I'm going to give you some therapy.
Okay.
Do you know how many people have come up to me over the years who have visited the training halls that I work in, and they come up to me and they go, man, I rolled with Gary Tonon. I did really well with him. Like really well.
Really well.
I'm like, oh, that's very, very good. Very impressive. And then I see them talking to their friends. I'm like, man, I tapped out Gary Tonon.
Yeah.
And I'm just sitting there going, yeah. And you can see that they're just like, whoa, dude, I'm way better than I thought I was. Gary Tonon, all of my students, I push them in the direction of giving up bad positions so that they practice getting out of critical situations. It's a huge part of our training program. But Gary Tonon takes that to a level that just no one else even gets close. It's just amazing. Like, he will put himself in impossible situations where it's a fully locked strangle, 100% on, with both his arms behind his back. And he'll try to work out from there.
Yeah. And
7 times out of 10, he does. But 3 times out of 10, he gets caught. I'm a huge advocate of handicap training, where you handicap yourself to work on skills. He's took that to heart to a level that few people, I believe, can match.
I just wonder what his psychology is like, because
it goes back to what we talked about before, Lex. You have to understand it's skill development. Don't take it personally. I understand. I hear where you're coming from. We've all got what you call the ape reflex, where we want to be dominant. Okay, yeah. We all do.
Because there's thousands of white belts out there that have tapped Gary Tonon. Yes. And they're walking around and they're posting
saying,
online.
Dude, I tapped Gary Tonon. Like, Gary Tonon's like one of the best in the world, so I'm one of the best in the world. And does Gary get upset about this? No, of course not. Because Gary knows that when it counts on stage, he's going to be going 100% with a set of skills that very few people can match. He can go into an EBI overtime at the 205-pound weight division against an ADCC champion, starting in a full arm lock position, and effortlessly get out with no problems in seconds, because he's been in that situation 25,000 times with varying degrees of skilled opponents. And there's just no panic, no fear. He's just doing what he's done so many thousands of times. And that's a fine example of a guy who didn't give a damn what happened in the training room. But when it counted on the stage in front of the cameras, it kicked in. Any discussion of the general leg lock revolution would be remiss without a detailed study of the ankle lock. For most students of Jiu-Jitsu, the ankle lock is the first leg lock that they encounter in their learning journey. It is a powerful and high percentage technique that can reliably win matches at all levels. This video will break ankle locking into 3 core skills to begin with. First, getting to an efficient and devastating upper body grip on the foot. Second, using ashigarami, leg entanglements, to effectively pin and control the opponent's hip or knee. Third, you will learn how to overcome intelligent resistance from a skilled opponent. Let's get started then with your ankle lock journey, and I'm sure that soon you'll be having similar success.